Hi everyone, it's Diane. How are you? I hope everybody's doing well. I know that I'm a little later this week getting a video out there to you, so I apologize. But I I had to have a little procedure on my throat the other day, and it's left me a little hoarse and raspy. And I guess I had a little too much anesthesia during the procedure and had to have some extra medicine to help wake me up. So I've been a little bit wobbly the last couple days, so I kind of held off. But I'm back now, and I kind of have a voice, so let's do a card with a bunch of scraps that I have laying around. Yeah, I saw this card on Pinterest, and I was inspired by it, but I have an awful lot of scraps here from all of the workshops and my own personal Christmas cards that I'm making, and which are only about half done. I need to get them finished up so I can mail them next week. So, if you've watched my channel, you know when I die cut one thing, I usually die cut a lot of things. But that's not bad because, like, now I need to make some Christmas cards and not play around. So I have these, and if this card goes well, this might just be one that I send out this year. We'll find out here in a few minutes. It's not going to be too too long of a card because I don't know how long my voice will hold out. I'm going to use a piece of old olive cardstock, and this is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that I've cut in half and then scored and folded. And this just makes our 4.25 by 5.5 inch card base. Now, all this stuff was cut out of scraps with the exception of my vellum. And the only reason I had to cut a piece of vellum is because I can't find my white vellum. And I don't think I used it for the workshop that I did. Not all of it. But I can't find where I put the package. So, it might be over on the printer now. Maybe. So anyways, I was thinking, why does it have to be white vellum? It doesn't. It could be whatever. And I happen to have, and I think I mentioned this before, if you have the chance to get some of these specialty kinds of papers, you know, like green vellum is always a great thing to have because you can use it for leaves all year round. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this was Stampin' Up! Perennial Essence. This is old stuff. But every time I have the chance to get green vellum, I will try to get a package or two. Because if you're going to be making birthday cards in the summer or wedding cards or whatever, and these just cut out beautiful leaves, you know. All of these pine branches that we did in our one card a couple years ago, maybe last year, I don't know. These were all cut out of vellum. So I just always keep a couple packs of that handy. I just found a cute little flower that I cut out too. So I cut a piece of that green vellum that I had to 4 inches by 5.25, and I ran that through an embossing folder. This is Stampin' Up's Merry Melody. I had a whole stack of embossing folders here that would have looked just as pretty. A snowflake background, or if you have an evergreen or pine branches would be really pretty. But the pine that I have, or the evergreen that I have, is trees, and I didn't want that. So I went with the musical notes. And then I cut another piece of old olive that is 2 inches, 2 inches by 5. And I cut that a little bit shorter, and this is a scrap. And so is this piece of gold foil paper, which is 2.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And what I'm going to do, I think, is layer this even on the top so that I have a nice border around the other 3 sides, and keep this even on the top of my embossed vellum paper. And then it looks like you have vellum on each side, but we all know vellum is a little bit tricky to play with, so this is going to give me room in the back to adhere it to my card base. I thought then I could use some of these different color of little pine leaves that I have, and some of the little gold, whatever those are. I even have several of these little wreath designs. Maybe I'll use some of those. I don't know. This one must have, I think I cut that one off a little short. So that actually would work like up there on a card. Maybe not this one. This one I'm going to stick basically to my leaves. I think I almost need the darker green so that it stands out. I'm sorry, I guess I am still a little shakier. I didn't think I was. I thought I was back to my normal. Not quite. Almost. I don't think I like that garden green on there. Stick to the olivey colors. Maybe let's put in one of those vellum leaves. Yeah, that'll be pretty. And then I have some, I think this was old olive. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to make a loopy bow and put up there. And then I have from Creative Expressions, Thinking of You at Christmas, which are just word dies. And I thought maybe I can use a piece of, I don't know, maybe gold. Maybe we'll do it in gold. We'll see. Let's start putting this together a little bit. Now we're playing with vellum and foil, so we need to be careful about our adhesives. Because you remember, if you get adhesive on your gold, on your foil paper, it's a little trickier to get off. And yeah, I knew that was going to do that. One of those was messed up, and I was trying to fix it this morning. Of course, that's the one I picked up. And if you do get adhesive on your foil paper, sometimes you can get that off with a baby wipe, which I finally remembered to bring up here, but I don't know where I put them. So everybody, I hope you're well. We're scheduled to have our card making workshop this next Tuesday. But I have heard from a couple of the ladies, and special wishes go out to my buddy Roseanne. I hope you're feeling better. That they're not going to be able to make it Tuesday. I may end up canceling this card workshop then, and we might just start off again at the new year, depending on if the other ladies want to do this or not. Oh, and I wanted to also share, if you are someone who visits my website, my boho stamper website, I am, back to the card here, I'm just going to put some liquid glue right up the center of my vellum, because I know that gold and green strip is going to cover that. And then I'm going to put some glue dots where I might need them after we get that on. Since I'm not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator anymore, I really don't have a whole lot of use for my website, because I don't have a lot of traffic on that website. I am not going to renew my license for my domain name next year. So I haven't been updating my bohostamper.com page, because I just, without the Stampin' Up! Stuff, I don't really have as much to share. So if you go out there looking, you're probably not going to see anything notable or newsworthy or up to date. I also am probably, I did get a new app to create my own newsletters. I'm probably going to start sending newsletters out from that I can create rather than having a paid for company do it. I think I can probably do a nicer job and not pay money. So that's what I'm thinking about there. Yeah. Let's get a piece of this. I brought over some adhesive sheets. I want to do this on here. I think I do want to do it on gold. Oh, I have a piece that might fit. That's left over. So this is just adhesive sheet paper. In case you've not used this before, it's double-sided paper. And if I can find a starting point. This is very handy for die cutting fonts or dies that have the shadow die behind them. Not my finger. Or if you're going to use a font that is very fine and delicate and you're afraid that maybe you won't be able to get your glue around those letters very carefully, then adhesive sheets are wonderful for that. So I always just try to get my paper the size that my cardstock that I need to die cut and layer that onto the adhesive sheet. There will be a release paper that comes off, and then this back side is still sticky, and we'll take the release papers off after die cutting. And my big shot's on the other side, so give me 1 minute to cut this out. I'll be right back. I'll run that through 2 times. Just better safe than sorry. I hate to get over there and not have it come out of the die and then be saying, oh, I should have run that through a second time. It happens sometimes, you know. I also had this glitter paper. I had considered putting that on the side. That would be pretty too, though, wouldn't it? I have some scraps of that left from the last workshop. See, I did get a little adhesive down there. It's not going to be on my font, but it does sort of mess up your foil a bit. What were we talking about? I don't remember. How's that? Try not to rip my words. Okay. So, let me see. I guess I need to use some liquid glue to adhere this because we have the bumpy vellum. In the middle. Vellum, I love it, but it likes to give a hard time. Alright, we'll let that dry while I get the little words out of my die. Hopefully. Let you go through there 2 times. You should be ready to go. the little bits out of the middle. I think some of those come out when you take the release paper off of the back too. So I can peel the backing off. Try not to distort my words too much. I do like this die because the eyes have their little dots attached to them. I don't have to worry about searching for those all over my work table here. Make sure my little pieces are popped out. I kind of want to do a retro card for some of my cards that I send out this year. Usually I only do 2 or 3 designs, but for some reason this year I you know, go big or go home, right? I decided to do a couple of them that have a lot of die cutting. I wonder if I should put that on a green background. Oh, maybe, huh? Alright, let's stick that on my acrylic block for a minute so it doesn't get stuck to paper. And see what kind of scrappies I have in my green. Some of these were pieces that I had saved because they might have little spots on them or just little offcuts. How about an oval? Where are my basic shapes? There. Where are these circles? I think these are all circles. Oh, look at that one. That's pretty. That's pretty. Will that fit around it? It might not. I might just make it. I'm going to cut one of these out from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Isn't that pretty? Sort of like a little marquee type label. Oh, I think I shifted. Oh, I did. Darn it. Thought I felt my die move. Should have used a piece of washi tape. Old olive. Can't go wrong with old olive. You guys have all your cards ready? Does anybody even send Christmas cards anymore? Oh, that's a color I didn't want to use, huh? I had a couple people who said, you know, send Christmas cards. Okay. I still send Christmas cards. The this is going to work. Okay, let's get this centered on here, kind of nice. Sorry if my head gets in the way, although I did just have a haircut, so it shouldn't be too awfully bad. I think that'll stand out a little bit nicer on there. And we can put some, let's get some fine tip glue. I love getting Christmas cards from people. I have a couple that I still write to, you know, the old-fashioned writing notes in your cards. Some of them are more just a greeting because you don't get to see your friends or distant family so often throughout the year. So, yeah, so I like sending a little happy holiday thing. Oh. My goodness, come on. Get all over. This might be an easy peasy card to get several done. Bow maker, where are you? Thought he could hide from me. No way. I think, let's see. Let's go big. Let's do 3 wraps around this. I don't know if I've ever done 3. I haven't put my greeting on there yet because I don't know if I want to put it on dimensionals yet. You know, that is one thing about working with scraps. Just not quite sure which ways will work best. That's okay. It's cute with 3. Possibly pop that up and maybe add a couple little gold beads or something on the back, or gold, you know what I mean. I better put one in the middle so it doesn't floppy down. So how many weeks we have left here? Just a couple, huh? I was thinking I still have so many pretty stamp sets and stuff over there that I didn't use again. Maybe after Christmas I should just keep making them and storing them in a folder, and then I could always upload them next Christmas. You know, when things like, when unexpected things pop up where you can't get a video done. Yeah, and then, where did I put those little gold ones? I found them. I have a whole basket here of stuff off my table that I want to sort out and put away. I think the gold ones were in there. Because, you know, really, here they are. Say like you like gnomes. Look how popular gnomes became again this year. So people who bought gnomes from one company last year and thought that they had missed out, of course, they're available from other companies this year. So maybe I would luck out and actually pick something that, you know, pick the popular thing for next year. I was just looking to see if there was any more little branches I want to put on here. I was going to put a gold one. Goofball. Yeah, and then, you know, things like holly and pine never go out of season. You can use them, or I should say out of style. You can use them for Christmas season any year, right? So even if you found a new stamp set next year that you wanted to use, maybe what I would be putting my video up there for would be helpful. Guys, remember, these are meant to inspire. Help you to create with some of the stuff you have. Alright, let's put our little bow on. The little loopies went inside. Come back out. Oh. We can always use a glue dot to hold our little ribbons down. Oh, I went quiet there, so sorry. I was concentrating on getting my glue dots. There. These things are on here tough. Ooh. They are. Goodness. I'm going to go real big here today. Let's put on about 5. What do you think? Not so bad just for some scraps, huh? I think I could adapt this and I have enough vellum. I could cut a few more of these out, and that'll give me a little bit more of my Christmas cards to get caught up today. Yeah. All right, everybody. So, got some scraps? Make a card. Yeah. And don't forget, if you go out there looking at that boho stamper site now, it's a little late. That one's gonna probably disappear in a while. So the only thing that I'm a little concerned about is for people who want to maybe start getting my newsletter, who haven't got it. But I am on Instagram and on Facebook, and you can always message me through there, and I can add you to the mailing list so that I'll still be able to send newsletters out to you. And I thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. Go make some cards, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.